So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's newspaper through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Now through 4 to 5 MCQs, we aim to cover more than 100 MCQs in 1 month. So if you're covering 4 to 5 MCQs daily with me from current affairs, then you would have practiced more than 100 MCQs from current affairs. I'm not talking about any other subject, just from current affairs in 1 month. And if you continue this series for 1 year, well, you would have practiced more than 1200 MCQs. So just before your prelims, you would have practiced 1200 MCQs from current affairs itself. And ask any serious aspirant who has at least cleared prelims once that 1200 MCQs from current affairs are more than sufficient. Alright, your current affairs portion would be top notch. It would be covered, it would get covered comprehensively, and you wouldn't have to worry about current affairs as far as your prelims examination is concerned. And I don't need to tell you this, but current affairs are very important. In fact, they are the most important component of your UPSC exam, both for prelims as well as mains. Alright, now we have that out of the way. Today we'll be covering 4 to 5 MCQs from the current affairs of 27th July. That means this Saturday. That just went by. Alright, so without further delay, without further ado, let's start with question number 1. Okay, consider the following statement regarding BIMSTEC. It is a regional organization of 7 countries from South and Southeast Asia. Okay, it was formed in 1997 through Dhaka Declaration. Okay, the region covered by BIMSTEC is home to around 1.5 billion people with combined GDP of over US dollar 3.8 trillion. Okay, so what is basically BIMSTEC? BIMSTEC is Bay of Bengal Economic and Technical Cooperation. Alright, so I don't have to write the entire full form. Bay of Bengal Multi-Sectoral Initiative. Okay, I'll write it. Multi-Sectoral Technical and Economic Cooperation. Alright, now it is a regional group of 7 countries. Some countries are from South Asia, some countries are from Southeast Asia. So what are these 7 countries? First of all, India is there. Then Bangladesh is there. Then Bhutan is there. Alright, Sri Lanka is there. Myanmar is there. Thailand is there. Alright, Myanmar, Thailand, and there is Nepal also. Okay, now BIMSTEC is a regional organization of 7 countries of South and Southeast Asia. Absolutely correct. It was formed in 1997 through Dhaka Declaration. No, not Dhaka Declaration, Bangkok Declaration. So from Thailand. So this is false. Now, this entire region of 7 countries actually is home to 1.5 billion people. So a lot of population resides in BIMSTEC countries, and it has a combined GDP of 3.8 trillion US dollars. Absolutely correct. Only 2 statements are correct. The answer is 2. BU. Question number 2. Which of the following statements regarding targeted cancer drugs are correct? These drugs have fewer side effects than chemotherapy. They target those genetic changes in cancer cells that help them grow and divide. In India, the incidence of cancer is higher among men than women. Okay. Now, why targeted cancer drugs were in news? Well, because in this year's budget, government actually slashed customs duty on targeted cancer drugs. So, government actually reduced customs duty, import duty basically. Customs duty is import duty. So, the tax you pay on importing these targeted cancer drugs. Alright. So government has reduced. That means these targeted cancer drugs would be available in India for cheap. They would cost less, and cancer therapies would cost less. Now, why are targeted cancer drugs important? Well, if you've got cancer, then your body has 2 types of cells: normal cells and cancer cells. And these cancer cells continue to grow and multiply, and then cancer spreads. So that is why treatment is very important. Now, there are 2 types of treatment already available. One is chemotherapy. Now, what chemotherapy does is you are induced with, or you are given a lot of medicines. Now, these medicines attack normal cells as well as cancer cells. So, yes, your cancer cells die because of chemotherapy, but it impacts your normal cells as well, and that is why this therapy is painful as well as it has a lot of side effects. Okay. Then there is this thing called immunotherapy. Now, under immunotherapy, your immune system is programmed in such a way that your immune system, your leukocytes, your WBCs attack cancer cells. Okay. Now, what are targeted cancer drugs? Like chemotherapy, targeted cancer drugs also attack cancer cells. But targeted cancer drugs are targeted in nature. They do not impact normal cells. And that is why, as compared to chemotherapy, they have fewer side effects because they only attack cancer cells. How do they attack them? These targeted cancer drugs actually attack the genetic changes in these cancer cells. Now, these genetic things, these genetic chromosomes, allow these cancer cells to grow and divide. Now, these drugs actually attack those genetic things, and that is cancer cells cannot grow and divide, and your cancer cells die, and you're cured of cancer. So, this is also correct. In India, the incidence of cancer is higher among men than women. No, it's quite the opposite. The incidence of cancer is more in women. More women are impacted by cancer, or more proportion of women are impacted by cancer than men. Okay, so it's quite the opposite. This statement is false, and the answer to this question is A. Question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding Tel Amer in Palestine. It is an ancient Christian monastery founded by Saint Hilarion in West Bank. It is a part of UNESCO World Heritage Site list. This monastery was in ruins before its discovery in 1999. Okay. Now, Tel Amer monastery, it's a Christian monastery, ancient Christian monastery that was founded by Saint Hilarion in 4th century. 4th century AD. Okay, that is why it is also known as the Monastery of Saint Hilarion or Monastery of Hilarion. Okay, so this part is correct. But this monastery, Tel Amer monastery, was established in Gaza Strip of Palestine, not West Bank. So it's in Gaza Strip, it's in Gaza, not in West Bank. So this statement is false because of West Bank. Okay, otherwise this entire statement is absolutely correct. Okay, recently World Heritage Committee took place. World Heritage Committee's meeting took place in New Delhi. It was 46th session of World Heritage Committee. Now, World Heritage Committee is that international committee which decides which cultural or natural site should be included in UNESCO's World Heritage Site list. So, in this 46th session of World Heritage Committee meeting in New Delhi, it was decided that Assam's Moidams, Chardeo Moidams, should be included in this list, UNESCO World Heritage list, and Palestine's Tel Amer Christian monastery should be included in this list. So now it is a part of UNESCO World Heritage Site list. Absolutely correct. And one of the reasons of including this Gaza Strip site in UNESCO's World Heritage list was that currently Israel is attacking Gaza Strip. And because of these bombings that Israel is doing in Gaza Strip, it might damage Tel Amer. Now, Israel is actually a signatory of World Heritage Convention. Okay, under this convention, Israel is treaty bound to protect World Heritage sites. Okay, now that Tel Amer is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Israel cannot attack this site in Gaza. Israel might bomb other parts of Gaza but won't attack this site, and that is why it would be ensured that this site doesn't get damaged because of Israel's attack. Okay, because Israel is signatory to World Heritage Convention. So partly because of this reason, this site was included in this. Now, this monastery was established in 4th century AD, and because of an earthquake in 7th century, this site was in ruins. No one knew about this site until 1999. So this is also correct. And the options are not correct over here. So it is 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 1, 2 and 3. I'm so sorry about the options. I couldn't get a chance to correct them. But these are the options. And the answer would be 2 and 3. Okay. And question number 4, the last of the lot. Consider the following statements regarding US-India Cultural Property Agreement. This will facilitate stolen and smuggled antiquities back to India. The US has similar bilateral agreements with 29 other countries. Now, recently, USA and India have signed Cultural Property Agreement. Now, what happens is there are a lot of historical specimens. For example, doors of Buddhist monasteries, ancient Buddhist monasteries, Indus Valley civilizations artifacts like dancing girl, bearded priest, or bronze statues found in Chola period. These are ancient Indian antiquities that are part of India's rich heritage, and they should lie in India's museums. But what happens is these things are smuggled. They are first stolen and then smuggled to USA and sold to USA's museums. Now, India earlier did not have any mechanism to bring back these stolen items back to India because these are part of India's rich cultural heritage and they should reside as museums, right? So India did not have any agreement. But now with this agreement, now any of the Indian antiquities that are stolen and smuggled to US will be brought back to India if US government finds out about them. So this is correct. Now US has similar agreements with 29 other countries like Turkey, Cyprus and all that. Okay, so this statement is also correct. Both statements are correct. The correct answer to this question would be C. And with that question, we come to an end of this lecture. That's it from my side, guys. I hope you enjoyed the lecture and I hope it added value. But you'll realize its value if you're consistent and regular with this lecture series. So make sure you make this lecture series a part of your daily routine because that would actually serve you well. All right. On that note, I'll be signing off and I'll see you next time, tomorrow most probably, with tomorrow's current affairs through MCQs. Thank you, everyone.